What? That's nice. Ta-da! I would arguably say one of the best looking 15s in the country. I think so.
Yeah.
Note to self, do not drive down single track lanes. These poor souls are now reversing. Thanks, man. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing fine. It's actually a very nice, beautiful day. I'm actually off up to the farm. I've got a little bit of a surprise for you. Dave at Garage 21 did all the little bits on the S15, the white one. You haven't seen it for a long, long time. We might have a deal. There's a company selling a very, very mental Spec RX-7. It's actually a demo car from a pretty famous company in Japan. Some of you have been messaging me about Twitch as well. Obviously at the moment my handbrake is actually broken. We're waiting for an adapter from Fanatec. Hopefully the new adapter should be here next week so I can kind of crack on with Twitch. Yeah, don't worry, I haven't kind of just forgotten about Twitch, and we're definitely going to be carrying it on. Obviously we got all the excitement with the Japanese trip. If you want to join in on the ML server, I've actually got 2 Assetto Corsa servers now. If you guys want to join in, just check out my Patreon out down here. It's £1.50 to join, and yeah, you can come and chat with me, do lots of skids, and we can crash in peace. Today's objective really is just to do a cheeky little vlog, show you guys the S15 now. It's looking pretty goddamn sick, and yeah, check out what the guys at the farm are up to. Look at that, little Beetle. Pretty cool. I'm not sure if that's Muzzy's, but it's outside his unit. But yeah, pretty cool. Morning. Morning. Morning.
You all right, mate?
Morning, SR20. Morning, Simon. Carson Performance. Just going to make the boys a quick cup of tea and coffee, because I am the resident tea bitch around here. Coffee for Mr. Scales. Don't worry, I'll put the milk in before I put the boiling water in. Coffee for Mr. J. Cup of tea for Mr. Lou. And a cup of tea for Spunky. Bing bong. In the workshop today, Mr. Scouse is doing some TIG welding. Mr. Lou is shining up some rocker covers. They've also got a pretty cool S14 which Muzzy at Jack West Mods brought in. It's actually a parts car, so they're kind of stripping it down for parts. Lewis actually removed the engine this morning, so you've got a nice big gap there. Pretty cool looking rocker cover as well. Obviously, that's the gearbox. Seems to have some sort of stainless steel manifold on it. I think that's probably a T28R, I reckon, or something similar. Obviously actuator driven, not an external wastegate. Pretty good condition. Fiberglass bonnet as well, or FRP bonnet. S14A, so you've got the slightly more aggressive front lights. Obviously the Zenkis look a bit more like a Mondeo. The sunroof model as well. All the interior seems to be in quite good condition. As we mentioned, Muzzy's selling all the bits off for this, and they're all available. So yeah, if you want to give Muzz a shout, feel free. Mr. K has been painstakingly rebuilding this 2JZ NA. How's it all going?
Yeah, good. Yeah, full rebuild. So
you're a bit of a 2JZ specialist now. How many 2Js do you actually own now?
5 and a 1J.
Crazy, man.
This one's for a Supra, so it's all new bearings, new rings, refreshed the head as well.
New pistons and rods, or
no,
standard ones?
Standard rods.
What was the original problem with this? Head gasket went, didn't it?
Yeah, head gasket had gone, but it turned out the actual issue was corrosion on the block surface. So it was a case of having to skim the head, skim the block, think a head gasket now.
What's the GTE going for now? 3-4 grand probably?
No.
Crazy, because they used to be about 1,500 quid, 2 grand.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's got to be like 3-4 grand, isn't it? Yeah.
Wish we can go back in time, man. Yeah, that's what Jamie's doing. He's collecting up all the 2JZ NA. All right. She's not collecting them, man.
Cup of tea.
Look at that. Master tea maker. What? That's nice.
Bit muddy puddly.
Right, that's for you, Scouts, you slag. Word up, broski. Okie dokie, it is time to reveal the Savage White S15. What a beast. Absolutely sick 15. I love the body kit on this. Brian James, baby. Golden doors are now open. You can kind of see how sick this car really is. Pretty cool pearlescent paint as well. The orange tops, which are like an optional extra from Nissan back in the day, back in Japan. You like it, don't you? Yeah, it's cool. It's very unique, this car, because you've got the full Y-square carbon aero all around the side, obviously front bumper, side skirts, rear bumper as well. It's got a really aggressive look, this car. I would arguably say one of the best looking 15s in the country. I think so. Yeah. Before, you guys obviously saw it with the suspension quite high and with the 370Z wheels on it, it did look a little bit gash. Now we've got the CR Kais on there and the suspension's been dropped to a sensible level. Looks a lot more savage. Interior on this is literally next level. You've got a full leather stitch dash, which is very, very unique. Full Bride interior. You've got front reclining buckets, which are extremely expensive, very, very rare. And even rarer is the rear Bride interior. Really nice Nardi leather steering wheel as well, which kind of sort of really goes with the rest of the car. This is the engine bay. It's actually an SR21 this. It's got slightly bigger forged pistons, forged conrods, and the whole head has been reworked by Narprek, who are a very famous sort of Japanese machine shop. Full HKS turbo kit, including manifold, obviously turbo, downpipe, HKS filter. R34 GTR front brakes are pretty big. Obviously you get the gold calipers as well, which is pretty cool. We're actually running a 350Z disc with this. 350Z disc on the back as well. The spec on this car, like I said before, is pretty comprehensive. It's running a gearbox cooler, it's got a diff cooler, it's got a full ATS carbon plated LSD, which is a really expensive bit of kit. We've got Yashio factory rear lights. Obviously I'm a massive fan of the Yashio factory lights. It's got an arc baffle sump as well, which kind of stops oil starvation when you take the car around the track. Headlights are also really, really nice on this. That's one of a sort of sore point. A lot of the S15s can get very tatty lights over time. And these are the silver backed ones as well, so they're very, very rare. Underneath there's a full wealth of Cusco arms, IKEA Formula front arms. It's got Tyne coilovers, I believe, on the front, and I think KTS on the back. And there's also a huge amount of braces. It's got Doluk braces which run along the entire length of the chassis. So yeah, someone in Japan at one point spent an absolute fortune on this car. It's extremely unique. It looks absolutely beautiful. Really, really a big fan of this car. I'll give her a couple of little cheeky revs now she's warmed up, just so you guys can hear what the exhaust sounds like. It's actually got a full trussed titanium exhaust, so quite a unique sound, but not massively loud. So if you need a car that's good for the neighbours, this is probably the one. I quite like the cheeky little roof spoiler as well. I think that's a nice little accent. It's definitely a lady, this car. It definitely looks a little bit more ladylike than my 15. Overall, for a car that's now, I'm going to be catching up with these lovelies who aren't paying any attention to me tomorrow. I've got a couple car reviews coming up in a few days as well, so look forward to that. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Peace.